Quality is good. 0 watchers. One watcher. You're back. All right. Looks like maybe we are back, and we're back. I have no idea what happened, guys. I promise I wasn't doing anything weird. Just all of a sudden, we looked over, and we were done. So, we back. Thank you, guys, so much. What were we talking about? We were talking about, I think, Tostitos.
That sounds right.
No. Okay, so we go to Arizona because it's kind of a kickoff of the season as far as a lot of the area, a lot of the country of the United States of America. Disc golf season really kicks off with the Disc Golf Pro Tour and everything like that. So we make sure we want to be at the Arizona because we want to make sure we're involved with the start of it. So that's why. But
and it's warm there.
And yeah. So some of us want to get away from the colder weather, and then we like to do things like get some in the bags done and stuff for the kickoff of the year. I don't have any plans to go to California. I would love to, but by this time of the season, there's a lot of things we can need to get done here, and I just don't see going out to California. Were you planning on any going out to any?
Not this year. I would like to sometime. I've never played disc golf out there, so I'd like to check it out, but not this year.
When are we going to go to Beaver State's Fling?
Dude, I'm super interested. I want to play that one.
Why don't we ever not go?
Because it's a long ways away.
It's like 22-hour drive, isn't it?
Yeah, we would definitely want to fly.
You would fly there.
I know we are going to Pro Worlds, but that is not in California, but that'll be the next
It's almost California. It's Peoria, Illinois, so it's very similar.
Similar with the beaches and everything. All right, so next question. Are we still hanging on? Yes, we still have viewers. We are good. This one's from Jimmy. When your disc lands within 1 meter from the OB, can you move the marker closer to the OB line instead of further away from the OB as standard?
Yeah, even if it's not OB, you just move it 1 meter away from the OB. That's it.
He's asking, can you move it closer to the OB is what it sounded like.
Oh, you get...
Is that what it was?
Say it again. Sorry,
Bobby?
I misunderstood.
We are going to say, when your disc lands within 1 meter from the OB, can you move the marker closer to the OB line instead of further away from the OB as standard?
Yeah, you get up to 1 meter off of the OB, so you can choose anywhere in there.
Anywhere within the 1 meter, right?
Yep.
So you can take it closer to the OB if you want.
I think so.
So that's a weird one. I don't know that.
Or
rule.
actually, maybe the rule that would be in play would be, all right, so when you take relief off of an OB, your OB is, the relief that you take is supposed to be no closer to the basket. Maybe that rule would be in play. I don't know. I've never come across that one before. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's a weird scenario.
Yep.
But there's definitely times when being closer would be more beneficial too. So
definitely.
Next question comes from. Was that good? Did you guys answer it okay?
No.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I've
never encountered that before.
Yeah.
This one's from Shay. I have a question regarding the practice throw rule. Does this rule only apply to regulation discs? During a backup at a tournament, a group of juniors behind me began playing monkey in the middle with a mini. Ooh. And it got me thinking, would tossing a mini or even one of the knitted pocket discs be considered a violation? What are the rules? What are the rules actually say?
What about a junior disc?
I wouldn't do it. Let me see. PDGA
that one we're going to need the actual letter of the law.
All right, so I
a
went
practice
to
throw is any throw that is not made as a competitive attempt to change the lie, except for a throw that is made either to set aside an unused disc or to return a disc to a player, and that travels less than 5 meters in the air. A drop is not a practice throw. A player receives 1 penalty for making a practice throw. Wow.
Throw itself is disregarded. Yeah.
Surely there's got to be some rule that...
Well, we looked at this. We looked at this a little bit whenever Katrina threw her mini on the island at GBO.
Yeah.
And from what I could find there, it doesn't look like throwing a mini incurs a practice throw. There is something about illegal discs. You could say that an illegal disc would be, a mini is too small for competition, so I guess you could classify it as throwing an illegal disc. But, gosh, I just wouldn't do it. I don't think it's advisable during a tournament.
Yeah, I think it's well. What again? Then let me ask you this. Then okay, so
I if it was me in that situation, I would not have penalized them, but I would have said like, "Hey, this probably isn't good." I don't know, man.
would you say then if let's say the kids had been doing not mini, but they were doing hacky sack?
Yeah, no problem, because that's something totally different. It doesn't look like a frisbee.
So the fact that it resembles a frisbee is what
Yeah.
makes you kind of take
Right.
caution with it.
Right, because then, like, all right, say I'm getting ready for a big drive or something, and for whatever reason I have this mini that kind of feels like a driver. I could just throw that a bunch of times and then be like, okay, I'm ready for this drive, even if there's a big backup, you know? So,
Interesting.
Just
Yeah.
don't do it.
just
Interesting.
don't.
Courtney asks, I have been playing disc golf seriously, since July 2018, and my favorite fairway driver is a Thief. Super heartbroken that they are on the chopping block this year. I'm a right-hand sidearm dominant thrower, and right now I can get my Thieves to go super straight with just a little fade at the end. I use it on almost all of my upshots and wooded drives. Any suggestion from the Trilogy lineup to fill the space in my bag other than buying all the Thieves I can right now, which I may also do. If I may interject,
You can do
if
that.
I may I?
You may.
No.
I'm going to anyway.
Danny and Anthony aren't ready.
Still,
Sorry.
still gonna. I would pick up a Maverick. Maverick. I had a
Really?
Thief in my bag, and after throwing the Maverick a few times, Thief gone.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it is exact. I'm not saying it is
It's
exact.
definitely not exact.
I would say pick up a Maverick to try out, but I would also say just because it's going to OP doesn't mean it's not still going to be
This is
easily accessible.
true.
So,
Just people are still gonna sell it,
yeah, of course.
and they'll still be out there.
we still got them on the shelf here probably.
But if you have not picked up a Maverick, I highly and now maybe an Air Maverick,
Yep. Maverick.
Maverick,
That's me.
That's you.
So,
Emoac Maverick,
Emoac.
emo.
Emoac Maverick.
Emo.
All right, next one is from Will from Nashville. I quickly wanted to say thank you for your answer a while back about my hip impingement injury. Doesn't look like I'm quitting the sport after all. So,
Sweet.
yay.
Good
However,
to
as I
hear.
rebuild my strength and form, I've noticed I can achieve the characteristic flight path for any given disc, yet always max out at 350 feet. No, 300 feet. Why do I add things that I don't even see?
I don't know, man. You're crazy.
For instance, my Saint...
Internet distance, that's what that is.
It's an internet show.
For instance, my Saint will S-curve nicely, but never break 300
in 50 feet.
in 50. Does this suggest a specific deficiency in my form? I throw flat with no anhyzer to force the curve, so what gives?
I would say if you're getting 300 feet out of a Saint or Saint Pro, that's pretty solid.
It's not bad.
That's really not bad. I mean, do you max out at 300 feet with all of his discs? Like everything? Like including his like distance drivers?
Right.
Because
Because
that
if so, probably a nose up issue.
Yeah.
He says, I notice I can achieve the characteristic flight path for any given disc, yet always max out at 300.
That's interesting. So probably like Robert said, it's probably a nose up issue as opposed
Right.
to a nice flat release.
Yeah, you also might think about accelerating through the shot instead of having. I feel like when people try to throw hard, they think everything has to be fast, and that's not true, right? Acceleration is more
Correct.
important than full out speed all the way. Like if you start at the back of the tee box and you're already sprinting, there's nowhere for you to go. Yeah.
James
and then-
Conrad style.
That's right. But he like his first,
But he
few
accelerates.
steps- exactly. He's good at it, right? I've seen a lot of people take those extra like sprint steps, and then there's just you're already at full speed.
Well,
You
that's
want to
the
be
thing,
getting
like-
to full speed at the end of the throw.
For instance, my throw comes to mind. I basically start in the X step.
Yeah,
Like I walk into it. I don't run into anything, and I can get it out there far enough.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Anyway, yeah.
All right, so the final disc for the 2019 Trilogy Challenge
is a van.
is the Dynamic Discs Vandal, and I see someone on YouTube wanting to know more information, so we'll talk
Vandal.
about these.
Let's.
So
No.
this is a driver. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I
That's
didn't
a
go
you.
over the numbers. I bet you people are curious about the numbers, so let me find this.
We're not a number show. Let's go
Lined up.
on.
Because I don't have it memorized. Frequently asked
Interesting
questions.
color one.
So the Keystone was the retro Keystone has a speed 2, glide 5, turn -1, and a fade of 1, and that's the putter. The Westside Discs Tournament Plastic Gatekeeper is a speed 4, glide 5, turn 0, and a fade of 2. And then, of course, the Dynamic Discs Lucid Vandal, which is a driver. The Speed 9 a fairway driver? Or
Yeah.
Speed
It's
7?
a fairway.
Yeah, it's okay. Speed 9, Glide 5, turn negative 1.5, and a fade of 2.
Dose.
Eric, tell us a little bit about the profile of the Vandal.
Relatively flat. Not super deep by any means, and it's got a smaller rim to it, so it's really nice for players that maybe have smaller hands or kind of those bigger. And, of course, it's a fairway driver, so it's not going to have a really large rim on it. But this thing feels really nice in the hand and does come out relatively smooth.
Yeah. When you guys were throwing it, how was it flying for you?
I was throwing it at probably, I would say, 80% on a hyzer, like a pretty good hyzer, and it would flip to flat and actually fly to the right and then fade back.
Nice.
We were throwing it on hole 17, Jones East, and I was putting it right on the pin most of the time. And then on
Sweet.
throwing back, I threw some rollers. The grass was a little wet for it, but I'm honestly more excited for this disc to be a roller than anything. For me, I think it will be more of a utility disc. In the woods, I could see getting some nice tight lines that I can hyzer flip up on. But rollers is what I'm really excited to try this thing out, because I'm still trying to find that perfect roller disc for me. The Renegade's been great. The Trespass, I've been using those for a while.
Yeah.
That's been
They're
great.
kind of fast though. Like
They're fast and they can hold that line, but I'm looking for something that I can get down relatively fast and get moving to the right, because everything else kind of will fade off to the left a little bit or just kind of hold that straight line. So I think the Vandal's going to be great for that.
Yeah. The only ones that I've thrown are the proto ones, and they're kind of stable.
These are definitely not as stable,
Right,
As,
that's what it seems
the
like.
First protos, that
Yeah, those early protos are pretty domey. These are pretty flat across the top. So yeah, I mean, I would be interested in trying this out for that roller slot as well. I've been using a Fury in that
Furry
for a little while, but yeah, I think this would be really good.
When I was throwing it, of course, it's a Maverick is a speed 7, and this is a speed 9, so it is a faster disc. But it felt, I mean, obviously, when I threw it, I knew it was like, wow, that's faster. But it does feel like a faster Maverick as far as the flight characteristics for me. Doesn't turn over really for me. Now, I haven't the prototypes that Robert is talking about. I actually have them in my bag because I want to throw them and get them worked in. He gave them to me.
That's a joke.
But I have noticed that they don't quite turn over like a Maverick will, but I need to throw them some more, but they'll go nice and straight, and they won't fade a lot. They don't have they won't turn a lot, but they definitely don't fade a lot, which is nice for me as well. So if you throw the Maverick and you're wanting something a little bit faster, then definitely try the Vandal. Now, people keep asking, when can I get these discs if I can't play a Trilogy Challenge? These particular plastics, the Lucid and the Vandal, the Tournament and the Gatekeeper, the Retro and the Keystone, will not be available unless you play a Trilogy Challenge. If you're like, Bobby, I can't play a Trilogy Challenge. Well,
then
why
run
don't
one.
you host one? You can host the Trilogy Challenge, and you can have all the Vandals, Gatekeepers, and Keystones you want.
I thought you were going to say, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I would have respected that.
If none of that applies to you, then you have to wait until all the Trilogy Challenges are over, which is, I don't know the exact dates, but usually about September-ish. And then we'll start releasing them in stock stamp for the particular plastic. Now, some of these have already been released for other specific events and things like that. So some of those you can get a hold of now, but not in these particular plastics. So make sure you go to trilogychallenge.com. You can look at the event location section, and it looks like they start, if the internet would hurry up and catch up with me, first on the docket, May 25th is when you can start playing them. So about 11 days from now,
Let's go.
you can start playing some Trilogy Challenges. All right, guys, so that's all the time we have for Disc Golf Answer Man answering questions. We have the After show where we have a topic that we're going to talk about that I wanted to get Eric and Robert's opinions on.
Muy interesante.
I have my own opinion. So if you want to find out what that topic is about and kind of have some casual conversations and hang on for the Disc Golf Answer Man After show. Thank you guys for putting up with our technical difficulties. I apologize. We try to have a good show, but sometimes crap happens.
He did it on purpose.
I did it on purpose. So, all right, we'll see you guys.
Crap.
All right, YouTubers, you hang on.
Crap. I'm just going to lean back in the chair a little bit.
That's fine.
I am more sore than I've been in my life ever.
Because you worked out a lot.
Yeah, because like an idiot, my first day back, I was like, oh, I'm going to do all the stuff. So stupid.
All right, here we go. We are back for the after show. All right, guys.
Did you see that my eyes died in the camera there?
All right, so this is where we kind of relax. I tell you what, guys.
Let's just lean on back.
Relax.
So sorry, I get
Do it.
worked up when technical difficulties. They just drive me
Trigger
absolutely
song
nuts.
from Zoolander.
Yeah, they do.
And so I apologize for the people that submitted their speak pipe questions. We will get this figured out. I did, as we were doing the show, I figured out what went wrong. I did try a different type of hookup that we used to do with the old mixer, and apparently it doesn't work with the new mixer.
Poop.
I'm assuming what's happening is these are mono. That's why I switched it.
Yes.
But apparently, so I was sending the one signal, but that still didn't fix it for the audio. So I'm going to go back to the balanced XLR connections, which has the right and the left balanced, and it'll work next time.
Maybe if you had your
No
headphones on, right? Oh, you do now.
Oh, I do not. Yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe that was it. You never know.
So anyway, so my apologies for all the technical difficulties, but thank you for hanging in with us, guys. Appreciate it, especially ones that point out what we do wrong. So, just kidding.
Valid.
That's another
So
good question.
if you have questions on the YouTube chat that you want to ask us, doesn't have to be disc golf related because this is the after show show. It can be anything. So here's the topic I want to talk about.
Encourage it not to be disc golf related.
This is true. So this is the topic I want to talk about. Now, this is disc golf related, but I wanted to get your all's take on it. So I have a Facebook person that said that they were going to play in a division, but
Yes.
they were the only one in that division for a tournament.
Okay.
I can't remember how many people played, but quite a few people
Right.
signed up to play.
Right.
So this person said, well, I don't want to win the event just because I showed up. I don't want to win that division. I don't
Sure,
want to take
right.
the trophy. So I'm going to play in a different division. Well, this person decided to play in the rec division.
Okay.
They won, got second place, beat out 6 other people.
Wait, they won?
No, I'm sorry. They got second place,
Okay.
beat out 6 other people, and that person got a little bit of flack for that.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on
Well, I think you need to
That
give
choice.
more details to it. You can't just
The
say,
first question
what would
is
be what would be the question that you would want to know?
the first question is, does their rating qualify them to play in rec?
That's a very valid question. So I'm going to look that up. I mean, I didn't give you some of the information because I want to know what information would make
Sure.
make for the
The
valid.
very first
Well, then you
question I would
shouldn't-
ask.
You shouldn't have told me before, and then I would.
But it's the same thing. But it's the same thing as we asked before. Like the very first question
Yeah.
you always ask: does their rating qualify them to play in rec?
Correct.
And
So
if it does, then yeah.
I'm going to look up the event if I can remember what it was.
If not, call the TD out.
There it is. I remember what it is. Danny's looking at me because he remembers us talking about it.
Robert, I messaged you about those rules.
Yes.
The OB one, it says if you're within a meter of OB, you could put your mini at any point up on a 1 meter.
Yeah. So you could move closer if you wanted to. I've never seen that before.
So explain that real quick to our listeners.
If you threw near it, like laying up short on 11 at east or something like that.
Right, and then you could put it closer. So we were talking about the question about if your disc is within a meter of OB but didn't go OB, can you move it closer to the basket because it's within that 1 meter? And Danny sent over the rule. Yes, it says anywhere within that 1 meter area. I'll read what he said just a second.
Yep.
If the position of if the position of the thrown disc is inbounds and within 1 meter of an out of bounds line, the lie may be relocated to a new lie at any point on a 1 meter line that extends perpendicularly from the nearest point on the out of bounds line and passes through the center of the disc. So if it is within 1 meter of out of bounds, you could move it closer to the basket if you wanted to.
And hopefully you listened to the actual episode that we were talking about. And I cannot seem to find. Do you remember where we found that, Danny? I can't find it on.
I don't remember, but their rating was 100 points below, disqualifying them for rec.
Correct.
But in the area, everyone seemed to be playing in a division above where their rating put them by like 20 or 30 points. So they averaged like 50 points above their rating and got second.
Here we go. I found it. Thank you. So in the division that this person played, of course, we're giving all these numbers. People want to figure it out probably, but the person asked that I not mention their name. Anyway, the person that won rec was rated 870.
Okay.
The person
What
that
were their
won-
round ratings?
So the person that was rated 870 got round 1 870, round 2 880.
Uh-huh.
The person that
Cool.
got second, the one we're
That's
talking about,
and that's kind of standard rec scores. It's
Yeah.
like, right around that.
that person
875.
was rated 793,
okay.
played 850, 840.
Awesome. Good for
So
that
played
person.
really good.
Yeah, well above
the
their
person
rating.
that got third was rated 787,
okay.
played 850, 830.
Okay. Cool for
The
them.
fourth, fifth don't have a rating,
Okay.
but played ratings 800, 860, 820, 820.
Okay.
Sixth was rated 872, so rated even higher. Played 850, 769, so had a bad
Rough one.
second round.
Yep.
And seventh place was 779. They got 780, 739.
Right.
So why would anybody give this person beef?
I wouldn't. I mean, obviously, there's going to be people on the board who are going to say stuff that they're going to say. So far, nobody's really commenting on it. But here's the thing: if your rating allows you to play in a certain division, you can play in that division. I don't care if people call you a sandbagger or not. If it was up to me, I would tell you to move up. If you're right at the top, like, say you're playing intermediate and you're 933 rated, it's probably to your benefit to play advanced and kind of figure out what it's like up there, play with some better players. But in this situation, like, instead of playing in a one-person division, you can play in a division where your rating says that you can play. I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, this person wasn't even the highest rated player in their division, but you said they were receiving some flack because they normally play a different division.
Correct.
Should you say why that this is all important or no?
It's probably because it is part of the issue.
It's the biggest part of the issue.
The biggest part of the issue is this was a girl.
Yes,
It was
a
lady.
girl
It was
who
a female that played in a men's rec division.
a girl who normally plays FPO.
No, advanced.
So I play FA1, she was the only player in the field and didn't just want to just get her entry fee back. So she said, I'm going to play MA3 on the men's side and get second. Playing, like you said, 60 points above her rating for both rounds or something like that?
50, 60.
Yeah, awesome. Good on her. But then you said that online some people said that she was...
They just said that she shouldn't have done that.
I mean, I disagree.
Yeah.
She's more than welcome to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Should
ridiculous.
she have played intermediate women?
I mean, she could have, but going from, like, that's a little bit different. Going from advanced women to intermediate women, like, that would be like, somebody like, let's say, who's a good example of this? Somebody who's in like the 970s, 980s, who's played open quite a bit. Danny raised his hand. Let's say this would be like Danny dropping back down to advanced if that were to happen. Danny would wreck advanced at almost every tournament that he goes to, unless Isaiah's playing, so, whatever. But
I'm roasted.
yeah, I mean, because he's really freaking good.
You guys had last time I played.
Ooh, suck up. Anyway,
In a playoff.
but I mean, yeah, men's rec is much different from female rec, right? I mean, there's no doubt about that. I don't know. I don't think anytime anyone should give her flack about that. If she comes and beats you in a division where her rating qualifies to play, it is in fact more than 100 points below the bottom qualification, and she beats you, you better shake her hand and be like, hey, that's a good weekend. That's what I would have done for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, what do you think?
Yeah,
Haters gonna hate. That's what I think.
because you have no issue with it, right?
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Let's see. People crying about sandbagging all of the time. I had the best round of my life and had to hear it from over 60 people all weekend long. It was a casual tournament. Sounds like he may have gotten flack for wanting to play MA4, jumping to 3 and placing.
They were trying, but before we said that it was
Oh,
a
it was a
female,
female,
that's what they were trying to figure out.
Someone said the reason you play tourneys is to compete, and that's why I applauded her by saying good on you for not wanting to take home a trophy because you just showed up.
Yeah.
That's not to say that anybody that decides to do that, like, I'm bagging on them, but I'm glad that she made the decision that that's not what she wanted to, that's not what she showed up to play for. She played to compete.
Yeah. And this is important to say, too. This is a common misconception, but the MPO field, it stands for Mixed Pro Open. It doesn't stand for Men's Pro Open. It stands for Mixed Pro Open, which means that either a male or a female can play in that division. and any of the other divisions that are the amateur ones. So when that says MA3, which is the recreational division, that's mixed amateur third down. So
Excellent point.
They should change that because it's misleading for people.
Is that what the M stands for too? Misleading?
Yes.
misleading A3.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone says,
I
are
respect it, dude. If you come out and beat
No,
them,
absolutely.
good on
Yeah.
you.
Zach says, are there any rules for pro players dropping down and playing amp? I had a woman who normally plays FP50 but played MA40 instead, and another player said she didn't think she would have done that. She should have done that.
Has she accepted cash?
Yeah, it comes down to the cash thing. It depends on the tier of tournament that you play, but if you have accepted cash at the professional level, then you, at most tiers of tournaments, can't play on the amateur level. But if your rating is underneath the threshold and it's a lower tournament tier, like a C tier or something like that, then you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chaser said Paige Pierce played MPO at USDGC one year.
Yeah, she wants to every year. I think she would go back and compete every year that she's able to.
Yeah. So, interesting.
Multiple years, too, not just one.
Yeah, I think it's
Correct.
been a couple years, I thought.
Well, I know she won the
performance
based, and I don't know how. I think she's only actually played in the USDGC maybe once or maybe twice.
Did she play last year?
I don't think so. I think she
Okay.
tried to qualify but didn't.
There you go. So she definitely played in like
Yep.
15 or 16
Yeah.
or something like that.
And I think Juliana is the only female to cash at USDGC,
Okay, yeah. Cool.
which is just
It's freaking sick.
insane.
Dude, I shot not the round of my life, but a really freaking good round at cash at USDGC this last year. So to know what it takes, like you can't be loose with your shots out there
No.
at all. It's good. It's very hard.
Have you watched Julianne's Instagram account? She's been
Juliana?
doing some. What is it?
Juliana.
Juliana. She's been doing some
Freestyle.
freestyling.
She's been doing that for
getting
a
good.
couple of years.
She's been
now.
doing
I
that
know,
for a
she's
while.
been getting
yeah.
good. I like
Well.
her videos where she'll show like the progression.
Yeah, the
like,
mess ups.
Yeah, the mess ups and stuff,
yeah.
and then she gets the trick. I think that's cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Has the transgender asked or attempted to play in an FBO yet? I would imagine
I think so.
As
They
far as I
have.
know, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they have.
so.
And that we were talking about that earlier because of this discussion. So that follows the Stockholm Consensus that the Olympic Committee put together. I think it was in like 2003, that a person has to be undergoing hormone therapy to actively transition to the
2
other
years,
gender.
is it?
I thought it was just one, but
I thought I
yeah.
heard 2 years. at one
that
point,
could
but
definitely be true. I'll look it up real quick.
It could be one. I mean,
It's enough time for it to certainly affect that person.
If you're just tuning in right now to the Disc Golf Answerman, we are at the after show segment. No association with Smashbox TV's after show. This is where we are a little more relaxed and don't necessarily have to talk about disc golf, and it's not formatted.
You're right. This
But-
says hormonal therapy appropriate for the assigned sex has been administered in a verifiable manner and for a sufficient length of time to minimize gender-related advantages in sport competitions. In the opinion of the group, this is in 2003, eligibility should begin no sooner than 2 years after, and then a word that I don't really want to say on the air. But yeah, after the removal of some male parts.
So you have to wait
2 years.
2 years after you.
2 years.
to
And with verified hormone therapy.
to get rid of the advantage of
Correct.
being the
Yes.
opposite sex.
That's correct.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I thought you were going to say the advantage of the parts that they had, and that's
No.
just. I don't think that's a distinct advantage, but whatever. Anyway,
Let's see. Someone asks,
Wow.
so can a man play in a women's division?
no.
It's a female only.
That one,
division.
the F stands for female, so no, they cannot.
Not.
That is confusing to
Fit.
That's what I said. That's why they said they should
But
change it.
what would you change it to?
Open.
Oh, just open?
Yeah. I'm playing open. I'm playing
What about
advanced.
MA? What about MP50?
OP50.
Yeah.
Ominous.
50. Or go back to what it
Overpowered
was.
50.
Go back to what it really was and call it Grandmasters.
Danny's itching to let us see something.
He,
He's giving us the stare. He's giving us the stare.
yeah, he just linked the.
Oh, you get put the link out there. Okay.
yes.
Anything except an NT and a major, as long as your rating is low enough, pros can play it.
Yeah.
Okay, so even up to A tiers. Cool. So in case you couldn't hear that off the camera, if you have a low enough rating to qualify for that division, even if you've accepted cash, C tiers, B tiers, and A tiers, you can play in an amateur division.
Brent
How
wants
about
to
X
know-
tiers?
Huh? How about X tiers?
Huh?
Brent wants to know what would replace a katana in the trilogy lineup. And apparently only Robert, Eric, or Danny can answer. Me and Anthony have no say in this. Don't answer, Anthony. Don't say what would replace a katana.
Captain's
If
not a
you
bad
weren't
choice.
going to say it, what would you say, though?
Yeah,
I was going to say something. I would say probably like a captain.
Yeah, an Eric, a captain.
Alright,
Yeah.
already
I won't, but I'm not going to say it.
I would say captain. If it were me, definitely.
That's what I said.
Hey, I already said that, so
Better at night.
yeah, Knight might be good too.
Nah.
I just got a classic
rim.
burst and a classic blend Warden for putting and throwing,
Hey.
and I'm extremely excited. Never had such a great addition to my bag, Team Warden. Boo.
Andreas Nielsen, thank you for that. Hey, speaking of though, I was at the school this week. Some of the discs that they had some Wardens out there, so usually that's what I would use. But they had some guards from the. I won my card prize at the GBO. The guards feel really good. I hadn't really putted with them a whole lot or thrown them very much, but they feel awesome. And I putted with them a little bit there, and they're very, very straight. So
Did you flirt?
I flirted the guard.
Did you
Flip
guys?
the gird.
Did you guys watch any of the San Francisco Open?
A very small amount.
I watched the
Did you see the?
FPOs.
Did you see Simon's roll away on the
Yes.
on the
Who
board?
didn't? Yeah. How could you not
Brutal.
see that?
Where it was on the wall with
Yes.
the lines?
Yes. that's-
However,
Hopefully you've seen it, so the
Let's-
listeners, the audio listeners, know what we're talking about.
but
But
more importantly, did
Oh.
you see what happened to Adam?
yes, I heard about this. Talk about it.
no,
Adam
explain. Well,
Hannes?
let's set the stage.
Talk about what happened.
So here we
and
are
then go.
in hole number 16 at the San Francisco Open.
The wind is 10
So who do I
miles
talk
an
about first? Simon
Simon.
first?
Simon
Okay,
first.
Simon threw final round. He throws the hyzer. It hits right by the pin,
Yeah, within 15 feet.
within
for sure.
15 feet, and it stands up and rolls. And this is an island
Like
hole.
with a vengeance. It was
Yes.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it rolls. And it was windy. You could tell it was windy because it was doing the like wind wobble
Wibble,
roll.
wibble, wobble.
You know what I mean? The disc.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits the wall and just kind of it like nestles in between where the two walls connect. And there's a rope on the ground.
Right.
Well, it's on the other side of that rope. So I didn't watch it live. I only saw this from
I
behind.
only saw it after.
But it's my understanding that they just called him OB.
Yep.
And somebody on the card, I don't remember who it was, but somebody on the card was saying, play a provisional. Play a provisional. And I guess Simon just like, no, it's OB. Goes to drop zone, whatever.
Why wouldn't he do?
I mean,
I didn't see any of that.
there is a rope. The rope was there. However, in the rule book, it doesn't say anything about a rope at all. And then earlier that day,
Yeah.
is it Adam Hannes?
Hamas, yeah.
Hamas. Same thing happened to him, right? He played a provisional, took it to the TD, and got the call.
Yep.
Safe.
Yep.
I didn't know about the provisional thing.
Yeah, he played a provisional.
So that's a little bit on Simon for not playing a provisional.
It is, but also for
I mean, I get the whole, I get the controversy with how the course is set up, but he was even offered, like
yeah.
in other words,
that we know of. Like I didn't
Yeah.
see that. I don't.
I
know if-
didn't
yeah.
see it. I just heard.
oh,
that.
okay.
So-
well, but then maybe someone on the chat that watched it. I
Mhm.
watched it live and didn't think it was possible. So if you're on YouTube, let us know. Did they on the spot? Did they give him the opportunity to play a provisional? Because if they give him the benefit of the doubt, which is what right,
Sure.
and they said play a provisional just in case, then that's a little bit on Simon for not
Oh, absolutely, it is.
playing the
Yeah,
provisional.
it's not a little bit; it's a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like we talked about this at GBO, right? So we've got signs around the golf green and then a line painted several feet off of it. This is the reason that we don't do that
One
as an
of the
OB
reasons.
line. Well, yeah,
not the reason.
yeah,
but this is
it's
definitely
a big
one of them.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's a big one. Because then stuff like this can happen where you just get supremely unlucky, and that's OB by less than half a centimeter or something. Like the top of the disc is leaning on the wall, which is pushing it away from the string. Like that sucks, man.
Well, think about this too, and I saw people posting, well, why didn't they put the rope on the other side of the wall? Well, somebody could throw a shot and skip up into it and be leaning on the wall. Is that safe?
Oh, you mean on this, like on the
If
outside
it's
of
on
the
the
wall?
back side of the wall,
If
and they're leaning
it's
on
leaning
it,
into it, it
Yeah.
could be, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, just
Yeah, that's true,
eliminate the
'cause
rope
part of it-
altogether. Why have both?
Yeah.
You know, the both doesn't make sense to me.
Right, and I think
And
both
right
is
on it.
fine, but not right on top of
That's
one
what I'm
another.
saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So and this is going to sound like it's tooting our horn or pleading a case for what maybe it is, because there was a controversy for glass blown open because I don't know if it was most of our holes, but some of the holes where it wasn't a string.
There was only one hole where the wall was OB, and that was on hole 9,
right?
because you had to clear that wall, and that was just for the visual.
But there was some criticism because we had walls that were protecting the greens, but then we had the OB lines that were painted and had flags. But of course, every 10 paces or something like that.
Yeah, 30 feet.
But they were about a foot, if not 2 or 3 feet away from the wall.
Sometimes even a couple meters.
Okay, we were criticized for that.
Yeah.
But look
by
what
some
we-
people.
but look
By
what-
some people.
This is true. By some
Some
people,
people told me that that's how it should be done.
And to me, when I saw this go down, I didn't see it live, but I saw people posting pictures. I thought this. I even texted Eric and said, "This is why we did it the way we did it."
Yep. You're exactly right. That is exactly.
And
why
I
we
almost
did it.
wanted to. I almost wish I could find the people on YouTube that criticized that and said, "This is why."
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about the people the players that did complain about that at GBO. Well, guess what? It's not like we painted that Wednesday morning of the first round. It was like that when you practiced. So you know when you're practicing, you got to pay attention to what's going on, because it's not like we changed anything.
No, yeah, that was my big thing too. So it looks like, according to some people, they said that Eagle and AB, Anthony Barella, did say play provisional.
Cool.
So he played the hole wrong. Does he get stroked?
2-stroke penalty.
I mean,
It's the thing is, if it's called OB, right? But here was another comment earlier, right before we started talking about the FPO player playing in MA3. Somebody asked, "How do you feel about Absolute Extracts being the sponsor of a tournament?"
Ooh, that's disclaimer area.
The views and opinions expressed on Disc Golf Answer Man are only those of Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric Emac McCain, and Robert McCall. The views and
See,
opinions
you couldn't even
do
come
not
up with a good nickname. You expect me to every time? I'm teasing.
The views and opinions expressed on Disc Golf Answer
are
Man
totally
do not necessarily reflect the views of Dynamic Discs. What else?
Latitude 64,
Latitude 64,
West Side
Westside
Discs.
Discs.
Their staff,
Jeremy Rusko,
or some other legal term.
Yeah. Words.
Starlin.
That's
Rusko.
legally binding.
All right, so this is our opinions. This is not the opinions of Dynamic Discs or Latitude or Latitude.
Oh,
Latitude or less decide.
Let's decide. What do I feel about? I don't even know exactly what. I was a little confused because when I saw people talking about it, I thought, oh, it's straight weed. But then I found out they're a vape company that sell cannabis oil, right?
Yep.
And it can be used in a vape.
That's what I understand.
Okay, so
Which-
make fun of
which-
me because I don't know how it works, but I don't know how it works. I don't
Which
do
is
it.
legal there.
Legal where? Oh, where it
In-
was placed?
It's legal in California.
In
legal
California.
How do I feel about it sponsoring? I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm okay with it.
I think there's definitely a tipping point happening because of just what we said, the legality of it.
Yep.
If Bud Light were to come along and say we want to sponsor a tournament,
I mean,
we'd probably
we
be like,
had Bud Light and Budweiser feather flags at the Glass Blown Open.
This is true.
So,
and if Anheuser-Busch came and said we want to give all kinds of money to an event, I am sure an event would take a serious look at it.
of course.
Is it okay because alcohol is legal and not okay because cannabis is not legal in some states? I don't know. Does that but the other argument is even if it's legal, we still haven't gotten, and not even in disc golf, but in just about every area of life or any opinion you ask somebody, there's a stigma with cannabis and weed that it's a person not I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it doesn't put a person in a favorable light.
Yeah.
You know, if someone says I have a couple beers over the weekend, that's you'll have a certain perspective on them. Someone says I smoke weed on the weekend, I have a couple of joints on the weekend, or I vape cannabis. You're going to have your perspective is going to be a little bit different than if they said I have a couple beers on the weekend, right?
Not for me, it won't be.
Not for you?
No.
If it's in a place where it's legal, is what
Yes.
you're saying.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's
Yes.
a place for legal. Let me ask you this:
Sure.
Would your perspective on that? And this could be totally, but let's say someone says, "I get tore up every weekend. I get blackout drunk."
Sure.
That's little, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
So it's like
it is.
so to me, it's like the context is different, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole thing with between the cannabis and the alcohol is the context is different. We have a context around cannabis that it's an awful thing, whereas beer isn't as awful.
Well, it's widely accepted. Right.
That's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Widely accepted.
Yeah, and I think Chaser put this in the chat, and I think this is exactly what you're saying. Weed, cannabis, whatever it is, still carries a social stigma in a lot of places. Even if it's legal,
It does.
I mean, for the longest time, it's been, illegal across the board. Here's the thing: if it's like you said, if it's in a state where it's legal, I don't see how we can treat it any differently than having a Budweiser or whatever, a beer sponsor. What I didn't like is the commercials where it looks like if you smoke while you're playing disc golf, it makes you better at disc golf.
Well, what I didn't like about sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like about that commercial is how when he pulled the vape pen out.
Dynamic display.
No, I don't care about that. That's whatever. When he pulled it out, he looked around.
Yes, I noticed
That's
that too.
the part that made me go, well, he's making it look like he's doing something wrong.
Yep.
That's what I didn't like about it.
I noticed that
I
also.
don't care that he pulled it out of a DD bag.
I'm not a big fan that he pulled it out of a DD bag, but it's not legal everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink nor smoke. People are free to do whatever they want to, like do your thing. But if that was to happen in Kansas, we'd be like, hey, you can't do that because it's illegal here. I think DD across the board probably shares that same. Well, I shouldn't say that because we're disclaimering, but but I think I'll say this about our team. One of our things is that we don't want our players to smoke weed or anything like that. Like we want to be a drug-free team, and so I'm not a huge fan seeing that, but you can't in a state that it's legal, and like you said, the times are changing. You can't treat it any differently than a beer
This
sponsor.
is interesting. Mr. Drew said Dixon didn't like it, and his reason was. Now I'm not bringing it up because it's Dixon. I'm bringing it up because of the point it was made. Since it was a national event, and it's still federally illegal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I think is such a weird thing.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It's so weird that
it's federally illegal, but on the state level,
it's not.
Right.
So.
That's very weird.
Had it been just another A tier, C tier, it would have been fine. So that does bring up a point. If it had been just a
local
A,
event.
B, or C tier, A tier, whatever, and it's in California, but on a national,
I see that.
I can see that point where that would,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Like I said, I'm not a fan, but it's well within their right to do it. I noticed exactly what you were saying, where the guy kind of looks around like he's doing something illegal or illicit or whatever.
Yeah. That's the only part that I didn't really
That kind of
like.
defeats the purpose of like it being legal, and
Which, I mean, to be fair, he could have been looking around because it is still illegal to smoke and play, just like it's illegal to drink and play.
Yeah.
In a
that's-
sanctioned
So I wonder if
event.
the reaction would have been a little bit different had the commercials been less tacky. And if you produce those
Right.
commercials,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought they were tacky.
I think that's a good question.
But had they been like, of course,
More tactful, right? Just about how they presented them.
right? Yeah, if it would have just shown somebody playing around and they had it and they said, and the punchline, the tagline was more like, what's a tagline for cigarettes?
I don't know. Yeah.
Joe Camel.
Miller Life or
Smooth.
something. Yeah, something like that. Had maybe the reaction would have been a little less pitchfork.
Right.
That's true. And, I mean, they didn't really... I mean, I suppose they implied that he was smoking cannabis oil, but they didn't really ever say that it was. It
That's
could have just
true.
been a regular vape pen,
True.
Yeah.
but... I mean, when it says putt, putt, pass.
So anyway, so that's our
Yeah.
opinion on that.
Yeah.
Any other opinion you guys want? Any other life lessons you guys need? Put in the YouTube chats. Ratings update.
Bet 2.0 update that Chaser is asking about.
Oh, what?
Did yours change,
The what?
Anthony? Anthony's no change.
I'm sure mine didn't change.
Sticking still at 912. You haven't played an event, so you're still at 806. Danny got a little bump up, though. Hey, yo. Putting down it ended up being 1051, right?
Solid.
Sick. So yeah, Danny's round to tie Isaiah. Don't let him forget it ever. No, that's sick.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Before he gets better.
Yeah, right. 1051 is nuts, dude. That's awesome. So up 5 points
Something like that.
to
969.
969.
Solid.
Nice.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Well done, Danny. Mine's also a no change. Eric's
Mine
is
dropped again. I'm actually first time in my career under 1,000.
No.
Yep.
9-9.
998 or something like that. Whatever. I don't
Yeah,
really
right.
care.
Yes.
I've played 2 tournaments this year, both of them in Emporia, Kansas. So
Yeah. And those, man, when you play fewer, they hit so hard.
they do.
Like, I'm
They
a little
hit
worried about that this year.
really hard. But whatever. It is what it is.
So, all right. Bobby, you got to play some tournaments if you're trying to get to
That's true.
850, fella.
Maybe I should just start
tournaments are
doing a
coming up?
sanctioned round. Kansas City wide open.
Sick.
There's one June 8th
June 8th,
at Jones West.
Jones West.
Oh, is it the Matt Lloyd?
Yeah.
I saw that.
you're in.
Double
Right
dip in
here?
Emporia?
What's it called?
Double dip in Emporia or something like that?
Double Dip in Emporia.
Something like that.
Double down.
Double down. That's what it is.
As of this morning when I signed up, there's 2 people.
Sign up. What are you waiting on, Bobby? Jeez.
Oh, I didn't even know it existed.
I know.
I think there's something going on this. Isn't that police thing this weekend too?
That's this weekend. This weekend isn't June 8th, though.
It's in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
But the scramble, is that a sanctioned event?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay,
No.
then I'm not gonna
This
play
is
that.
the next sanction.
Let's see. More question. Is alcohol considered a drug that Dynamic Discs is against their players taking?
No, I responded to that in the chat. No, alcohol is federally legal. Make whatever argument you want about which is more or less harmful, but I'm talking about the legality of it.
If it's illegal, why would Dynamic be against their players doing it? Again, real quick, Daniel, this is our opinions.
Yes.
We're not on the show to speak for the company when it comes to matters like this. So if you want something more official, we can talk offline if you want to talk to Robert or Jeremy Rusco. When is the Trilogy Challenge? Is this right for you videos coming out? One of them is already out on Facebook, and the other one should be coming and on YouTube. Today, someone will come out. One will come out, I think, at 4 p.m. It's scheduled, and then another one tomorrow, and then another one on Thursday. And then, of course, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube so you can see the Danny versus Anthony Trilogy Challenge. Mud, and it was pretty muddy, apparently, because there was dirt and mud all over the cameras when I grabbed them to get ready. So this must have been a pretty all-out brawl, so this should be fun to watch.
Tim asks, is eating tacos required by DD for their players? Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say it's required.
No, if you don't eat
but
tacos, you're out of
sure
here.
looks good on an application.
That's right.
You got a little taco sauce on the side.
You're likely to get bumped up
Right.
a team or two if you like Torchy's tacos.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I'm thinking now we're talking more. I think maybe tacos need to be the season finale Survivor meal of the evening.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that sounds good. Oh, that's this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
We've been watching Survivor together this year.
Oh, I have too.
Really?
Oh, well, not with you guys.
Well, no,
obviously.
but you've been watching it.
Absolutely. We always watch
And
Survivor.
what do you think?
Wow, Shane and I got
Dude,
into
I'm
it
pulling
last
for,
season.
What are you pulling for?
What's his name?
Rick Devens?
Yes.
Dude, I like Devens.
I do too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dude, here it is.
Dude, when he
There's-
pulled out, spoiler alert. but
Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When
If
he-
you haven't watched, you need to turn it off right
when
now.
when he pulled out the idol last week and said he was gonna play it for her, in my head I'm thinking, why are you doing this? And then when he put it back in his pocket, that was classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, when after he pulled it out and said, I plan on playing this, I turned to Shay and I said, he's not going to play it. And she was like, no, I think he's going to.
Yeah.
Dude, super, okay, so there's some people on Reddit. By the way, disclaimer about Reddit. Reddit
It
is
sucks.
sometimes awesome and sometimes it's the worst place on
Yeah.
planet Earth. And there's so many people on the Survivor subreddit being like, Devins is playing the worst game. He's relying on idols and immunity wins to get by. Yeah, that's the
part
game.
of the game.
That's the freaking game, man. It makes me so mad. So, yes, he got voted off before. He gets back from the edge of extinction. Yes, that's different than previous years, but this is the game that is at hand. And I think he's playing it extremely well.
I'm pulling for him.
Yep, I want him
100%.
to make it happen for sure. What do you think?
So is it a 2-hour special? Or it's definitely not.
It's got to be 2
It'll be
hours.
two.
2 hours
Yeah.
special.
I mean, there's
At
still
least it may be more.
There's still 5 people, right?
Yeah.
There's 5. One will come back from Edge of Extinction,
So there'll be 6.
and it'll start with 6. And I think that's what they did for last year's finale too.
Yeah.
Or last season's finale.
Yeah, it'll be
was
2
they had
hours.
6 going into
It'll
the
be
2
2
hours.
hours. And that's tomorrow. That sucks because I'll be in Boston.
Yeah, rip.
Well,
I don't think they have TVs in Boston.
They don't.
Dang it!
Does it come out on Wednesday? Does it come out on Tuesday and it just
Wednesday.
records and when you guys watch
No,
it?
it comes out on Wednesday.
Oh, it comes out on Wednesday? Okay.
Yeah. The other show that I love
Game
that
of
I'm
Thrones.
watching.
Let's talk
no.
Game of Thrones.
Heck no, I don't care about
Well,
that.
We're not ready to
Daenerys-
do that. We're
Okay,
not.
this-
We're
this
not
is-
ready to do that. I'm going to watch this at some point in life, Bobby.
No, you can't do that.
Yes,
to me.
I can. I 100%.
You're the
can.
only person on the show that
There's no
cares.
one here who will talk with you about it right now. Eventually, I will talk with you about
I
it.
bet you half of the 146
I'm saying who
watch
can
right now.
talk into a microphone.
Oh.
Look who's sitting in front of the microphones.
Yeah, nobody cares. But before you interrupted me, what I was saying, another
yeah.
show that I do like to watch,
Is
Amazing Race.
I don't watch that show.
See,
either.
I haven't gotten into it, but I'm interested.
This season is really good because they actually have old racers from Amazing Race and then Big Brother and Survivor all racing.
Oh.
Ooh,
So
I
it is
like
it is
that.
really cool.
I did watch it one season where they had a bunch of social media
If you like
influencers.
Brody Smith was on there.
Mhm.
If you like traveling, I don't know, I think there's something really cool about it.
I remember thinking it was cool that they went to different places, and it's the same dynamic as Survivor as far as
Similar.
people and stuff
See,
like that.
very similar, yeah.
So, a couple of people on the board are saying, "No, Bobby, I'm trying to get caught up." In your face.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Hey, when you start watching it, we'll say watch it with you.
Yeah, I think if she can get past the rough first little bit, she'll be in. But that's a big question because we've watched shows before that started off pretty rough, and in what I understand is the same sort of way. And she was not a fan and did not want to
Like
watch
Parks
this.
and Rec.
Like Parks and Rec start off very rough.
They wreck it on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Man, okay, good. Okay, I won't say anything, but man,
I'm rewatching The Office again for the 18th
Hey,
time.
you love to see it.
I'm on season right when Bernard takes over. Like
Oh, okay.
literally
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
the
yeah,
episode
yeah.
where
Andrew
he
Bernard.
I'm at the
He was-
Michael Scott Paper Company just ended
just ended.
right now.
Michael Scott Paper Company is so ridiculous.
Oh, I love that show. It's so good. I could watch it for days. And I do.
And I do.
What's their chant for Michael Scott Paper Company?
Oh,
UGLY.
UGLY.
Yeah.
You ain't got no L.
Yeah, and then Michael Scott Paper Company. So
I'm here.
ridiculous.
I'm doing this. I'm part of this now.
Pam.
That's my favorite.
There. Speaking of no, it's not
Ooh,
Reddit.
that's a
There's
good one, Tyler.
There's a Facebook group called the Office Superfans,
Yep, I'm on that.
and someone posted something about. Can we not put spoilers on the show for people who haven't watched every episode of The
Yes,
Office yet? And I'm
yeah.
like, are you kidding me? The show's been off the air for how many
5 years.
Yeah.
At least.
And you want to save spoilers? Nah, no, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's going to be a hard pass for me.
And then I saw some people
Especially
were
a show
picking
that's
on.
on Netflix that you can go watch.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
They were picking on Pam, saying that she's an awful actress.
Dude, there's plenty of people who just want to
Why
play
do they hate on Pam?
They just want to play the contrarian.
Pam.
Like
She's
any
freaking adorable.
anyone who is popular, they're like, "Oh, that's the worst character." I
absolutely.
hate that. I hate when people are,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're so," or they call them casuals too. You're
Or
just
people that post
You're just a
and say-
casual fan. You can shut up about being a casual.
People that post
fan.
and say, "Oh, all you people that don't think Creed isn't the best character on
Creed,
The Office."
okay, look, here it
Creed's
is.
interesting.
Creed's interesting, but he's
Especially
not the
when he
best.
had his run as manager.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So a little while ago, a friend of mine and I, we got into this topic and we said, I don't think Pam's the best character on the show. I think she's a good character, but I don't think she's the best character.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few that are like in the S tier of characters, right? So we went through and ranked the characters on The Office according to what we thought they were on the show. And the only S tier characters were Michael, Jim, and
Dwight.
I want to say maybe it was Dwight.
Has
yeah.
to be Dwight.
Yeah, but there wasn't like Kevin was on the borderline because he's hilarious.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite
Sweep
characters
the
ever.
leg.
Yeah, sweep the leg. But like Creed is not. I don't know if he's even in the A tier of characters. So anyway,
Creed he's definitely above
He's-
Robert California.
Robert California's in the bottom tier, along with Nelly, along with Charles Minor, along with one of the interns. I don't remember.
Plop.
Plop was pretty good. I enjoyed Plop.
Bobby, speaking of Pam, have you seen her new show that she has, Splitting Up Together?
No, but I saw it was canceled after
Two seasons?
I think.
so.
Yeah.
It was all right.
And that's where a couple people were like, it's a couple people literally said it's because of Pam. She's terrible. Like it's not even.
No, I
it was after
disagree
2
with that.
episodes.
No,
Two
two
seasons.
seasons.
Oh, rip.
Some people said it was like it was a dumb show.
It was really. I mean, it was. Yeah,
Did
it
they
was
try
out of
too
left
hard?
field, but it was entertaining.
Yeah,
Still
I wanted to
entertaining.
watch it because
Yeah.
I like Jessica Fisher, right?
Jenna Fisher.
Jenna
Jenna.
Fisher. I like her. So much so I know her name. Someone, Robert McCall, does emac still design courses? Hey Sam, do you mind if I answer that question? Okay. Yes, he designs courses. You can go to you can email course sales at dynamicdiscs.com and see what we can do about getting the ball rolling for that. What were the turtles' names in Rocky 1? Huh?
The turtles' names? I don't remember.
Jim
But
and Pam?
if you are talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then I remember those names:
What are they?
Leonardo,
Uh-huh.
Donatello,
Okay.
Raphael,
Okay.
Michelangelo.
Okay, smarty pants. What are the colors?
Masters, dude. That's the easiest part, man. Freaking Leonardo is
Blue.
Are you ready?
No.
I know you're gonna look it up, so I'm waiting on you.
You don't have to look it up. I know the answer.
Yeah, Leonardo is blue, Raphael was red, Donatello was purple, and Michelangelo was orange. This is the easiest game I've ever played.
How do you know that?
Because I watched every episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja
I
Turtles
actually
growing
went
up.
and watched the original Ninja Turtle movie like a month ago in our theater because they brought it back for $5. That happened.
Yes, I'm super interested.
That happened.
Come on,
With Casey Jones and
yeah, dude,
April
throw it back,
O'Neil.
Master
April O'Neil.
Splinter,
Why was the
Shredder.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles named after artists? Why?
because they were Splinter's favorite artists.
See,
Something like that.
The Mutant Turtles were named by Splinter, their
yeah,
rat
Master
sensei.
Splinter. Come on, dude.
Their names were found in a battered copy of a book on Renaissance
art.
Not
Renaissance.
quite the right answer.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Pretty
though.
much.
Which
the-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle died?
Oh gosh, maybe I didn't get.
You know
that
what's
far in
really
the
cool about the
series.
Ninja Turtles though? Micah Moon, Winters,
Yes.
his old roommate played Donatello in the original.
What?
Yep, I met
Whoa,
him.
that's cool.
I want to meet that man.
I met that man.
Dang it.
He was
Which
in
one?
that video that he made of me.
Which one died though? Spoilers.
Ready?
Yep.
It's an issue of the comic book Attack on
Raphael.
Technodrome. Includes a battle that leads to the death of
Probably like Leonardo.
Donatello
Oh,
at the hands
bro.
of Shredder's lackeys Bebop and Rocksteady.
Dude,
Bebop and
Bebop and
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady can go. Shut up, dude. They were so hard to beat in the video game.
Yeah, they were.
It was really annoying. Anyway, okay.
All right, we probably need to go. We're talking.
Yeah, maybe so.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the After show. As always, it's been fun. Thanks for letting us rattle on. No Love for Manifest on NBC. Have not watched it. I heard it was good though.
Same. Thanks for tuning in, Logan.
What is the
Hey,
new,
nice win, by the way.
When is
Well
the
done,
new
buddy.
Zuka card coming out? Do
Sometime.
we have a date for that? Not yet. I don't think so. Soon.
Sometime.
Someone knew the answer to the thing.
Yeah, Chaser did.
Final surviving Ninja Turtle was Raphael.
That seems just so wrong because Raphael was always like the let's go get into it, dude. Like the
He was the rebel.
yeah. Michelangelo was just like, oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Got it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you on the next episode.
Hey, see you.